When talking about itemization in Honor of Kings, the first thing you need to understand is that items aren't just raw stats that boost your damage or defense. Every single item in the game is designed to solve a specific problem during the match. It can help you maximize your damage output, increase your sustainability to survive longer, improve your mobility, or even provide utility for your entire team. To know how to counter-build and pick the right item at the right time, we must first understand the different item categories in the game. The first category of offensive items is attack speed items. Rather than increasing the damage of a single attack, this category focuses on increasing how often you attack, allowing you to deal higher sustained DPS over time. Sparkforged Dagger is one of the strongest early game attack speed items, helping you deal consistent damage through its passive. As your build starts incorporating critical hits, Shadow Ripper becomes a natural progression, combining attack speed with critical chance while making it easier to kite enemies. And for longer teamfights, Tempest shines the most. Its passive becomes more effective the longer combat lasts, making it one of the strongest choices for extended fights. Because of this, attack speed items are primarily designed for heroes that rely on sustained DPS through basic attacks. The second category of offensive items is critical and burst items. Unlike attack speed items, this category focuses on maximizing the damage of every individual hit, rather than increasing the number of attacks. Eternity Blade is one of the core critical items, significantly increasing the damage of your critical hits and making every attack far more threatening. For heroes that weave abilities between basic attacks, Master Sword is an excellent choice. Its passive empowers your next basic attack after casting a skill, making it ideal for fighters and assassins that rely on short, explosive combos. If your goal is to finish off weakened enemies as quickly as possible, Overlord's Might provides exactly that, rewarding aggressive play and helping secure kills. While attack speed items excel in extended fights, critical and burst items are built for heroes that rely on dealing massive damage in a short amount of time. But not every hero relies on physical damage. Some heroes deal most of their damage through abilities instead of basic attacks. That's where magical items come in. The first category of magical items is burst magic items. Just like physical damage, magical damage can also be built around dealing explosive damage in a very short amount of time. Instead of empowering your basic attacks, this category focuses on making every ability hit as hard as possible. Scepter of Reverberation is one of the strongest early game burst items, adding an extra burst of magic damage whenever your abilities connect. As your build progresses, Savant's Wrath becomes one of the biggest power spikes for any burst mage, amplifying your magical power and allowing your abilities to deal significantly more damage. For heroes that scale into the late game, Sage's Tome rewards stacking magical power, making it one of the strongest scaling items for burst mages. And if your goal is to constantly pressure enemies instead of relying on a single combo, Mask of Agony provides continuous magic damage, making it especially effective during extended fights. The second category of magical items is basic attack magic items. This category supports heroes that deal magic damage through their basic attacks. Golden Blade is designed for heroes whose damage primarily comes from continuous basic attacks. It enhances every attack with additional magic damage, making it an excellent choice for heroes like Eren and Devara. Staff of Sorcery takes a different approach. Instead of rewarding constant attacks, it empowers your basic attack after using an ability, making it ideal for heroes that naturally weave skills and basic attacks together, such as Yuhuan. Although both items support basic attack mages, they are designed for different playstyles. One rewards continuous attacks, while the other rewards alternating between abilities and basic attacks. So far, we've focused on increasing your damage, but no matter how strong your build is, dealing damage is only half of the equation. Sometimes, the best way to win a fight isn't by dealing more damage, it's by reducing the damage your opponent can deal. That's where defensive items come in. The first category is anti-physical defense items, designed to counter heroes that rely on physical damage. If you're facing enemies that deal continuous damage through basic attacks, Ominous Premonition is one of the strongest defensive options. Instead of only providing armor, its passive reduces the attack speed of nearby enemies, making it a direct counter to sustained DPS builds. On the other hand, if the biggest threat comes comes from assassins or fighters that rely on explosive physical damage. Glacial Buckler becomes the better choice. It provides strong defensive stats while helping you survive heavy burst damage, making it much harder for enemies to eliminate you with a single combo. The second category of defensive items is anti-magical defense items. While physical defense protects you from basic attacks and physical abilities, these items are designed to reduce the impact of magical damage. If you're facing mages that rely on explosive burst damage, Succubus Cloak is one of the strongest defensive choices. Its passive shield helps absorb large amounts of magic damage, making it much harder for burst mages to eliminate you with a single combo. On the other hand, if the enemy relies on continuous magical damage rather than instant burst, Long Night Guardian becomes the better option. It improves your survivability during extended fights, allowing you to withstand sustained magical pressure for much longer. But how do you deal with heavily defended targets? The answer is Pierce items. Rather than increasing your raw damage, these items reduce the effectiveness of the enemy's defenses, allowing your damage to remain effective even against tanks. The first category is physical Pierce items. These items are designed to counter armor, making them essential against tanks and fighters that stack physical defense. Axe of Torment is an excellent early game option, providing consistent armor penetration while helping your abilities remain effective against defensive targets. And for marksman champions, Daybreak Virtues becomes one of the strongest late-game Pierce items, allowing marksmen to continue dealing high damage even against heavily armored enemies. Starbreaker provides a balanced mix of offensive stats and physical Pierce, making it a reliable choice for almost any physical damage dealer facing heavily armored targets. The same principle applies to magical damage. Once enemies start stacking magic defense, burst mages and magic damage dealers begin to lose their effectiveness. That's where magical Pierce items come in. Void Staff provides consistent magic penetration, making it one of the core choices against high magic defense. Twilight Stream focuses on maximizing your damage against heavily defended targets, making it especially valuable during the later stages of the match. Breakthrough Robe takes a slightly different approach. Besides providing offensive stats, its passive grants magic penetration, making it an excellent hybrid option for mages that want both survivability and consistent damage against magic defense. Just like their physical counterparts, magical Pierce items exist to overcome defensive builds, rather than simply increasing your raw magical damage. One important thing to keep in mind: many items in Honor of Kings share the same passive effect. Passive effects with the same name do not stack. For example, if you build two items that provide the same armor penetration passive, you won't gain the effect twice. Instead, the game will only apply one of them. That's why understanding an item's passive is just as important as understanding its stats. Before combining two items, always check whether they share the same passive, otherwise you may end up wasting part of your build. Dealing more damage isn't always enough. Sometimes staying alive just a few seconds longer can make the difference between winning and losing a fight. That's where sustain items come in. Unlike burst or pierce items, these items focus on keeping you alive while you continue dealing damage. The first category is physical lifesteal items. Doomsday grants physical attack and lifesteal, while dealing additional damage based on the target's maximum health, making it especially effective against durable enemies. Bloodweeper focuses on survivability by providing high lifesteal and allowing physical damage dealers to recover large amounts of health during combat. Magic users have their own version of sustain items. Insatiable Tome provides Spell Vamp, allowing your abilities to restore health as you deal damage. Holy Grail takes a different approach by solving mana issues while providing continuous health and mana regeneration, making it ideal for mages that rely on frequent spell casting. Sustain isn't limited to damage dealers. Tanks also have their own category of sustain items. Eye of the Phoenix enhances all sources of healing and regeneration, making every point of health recovery significantly more valuable. Overlord's Plate Mail greatly increases your maximum health, allowing you to survive much longer during extended team fights. Dragon Rage takes a different approach. Instead of focusing purely on health or healing, it improves your durability during combat, making it much harder for enemies to bring you down while you're in the middle of a fight. But what if the enemy starts stacking health instead of armor? Items like Overlord's Plate Mail and Eye of the Phoenix make tanks extremely difficult to take down. That's exactly why Doomsday becomes one of the strongest counter items. Unlike most physical damage items, Doomsday deals additional damage based on the target's maximum health. The more health your opponent builds, the more value Doomsday gains. That's why it's considered one of the best answers against high health tanks and regeneration-focused builds. But what if the enemy just won't stop healing? You've managed to deal enough damage, you've built the right items, yet your opponents keep recovering their health faster than you can take them down. Whether it's lifesteal, health regeneration, or healing from abilities, anti-heal items are the universal answer. Instead of increasing your own damage, these items reduce the enemy's healing and regeneration, making them essential against sustained-focused compositions. Blazing Kate allows tanks and frontliners to apply anti-heal simply by staying close to their targets. Venomous Staff gives mages an easy way to inflict anti-heal through their abilities while continuing to deal magic damage. For physical damage dealers, Mortal Punisher applies anti-heal through attacks and abilities, making it the ideal answer against enemies that rely on lifesteal or heavy regeneration. Sometimes, winning a fight isn't about dealing more damage, it's about controlling the battlefield. That's where control items come in. Instead of focusing purely on offense or defense, these items help you slow, control, or limit your opponents, making it easier for both you and your team to secure kills. Deep Frost Siege helps you apply consistent control during fights, making it more difficult for enemies to escape. Frozen Breath excels at slowing enemies after your abilities connect, making it especially effective for mages that rely on crowd control. Frost Scar's Embrace further strengthens your ability to keep enemies under control, allowing your team to capitalize on every successful engage. Overall, control items are designed to help your team control fights, rather than simply increasing your own damage. The final category consists of special utility items. Unlike the previous categories, these items aren't designed purely for increasing damage or survivability. Instead, each one provides a unique effect that can completely change the outcome of a fight. Dawnlight helps support your team by providing utility that can influence fights from a distance, making it a valuable choice for coordinated play. It also grants shields to both you and nearby allies during combat, making it an excellent utility item for supports that want to improve their team's survivability. Destiny focuses on protecting its user, making it a reliable defensive option when surviving enemy focus is more important than dealing additional damage. Ardent Dominion combines magical lifesteal with a powerful emergency passive that removes crowd control, grants a shield, and boosts your movement speed, making it an excellent defensive utility item for mages. Augur's Word combines magical power with additional survivability, restoring health and mana over time, while increasing your defenses based on your magical power, making it ideal for mages that need to survive longer in team fights. Cuirass of Savagery increases your damage and movement speed while you're taking damage, making it ideal for heroes that thrive in prolonged team fights. Demon Banner converts part of your physical attack into additional magic defense, allowing physical damage dealers to become significantly more resistant against magic damage without sacrificing their offensive power. Sage's Sanctuary grants one of the strongest defensive passives in the game, allowing you to revive after being eliminated and giving you a second chance during critical team fights. Before we finish, there's one last category every player should understand: active skills. Unlike passive effects that work automatically, these items require you to activate them at the right moment. Using them at the wrong time can waste their entire value, while using them correctly can completely change the outcome of a fight. Pure Sky reduces the damage you receive for a short duration, making it an excellent defensive option against burst damage. Sun Chaser grants a burst of movement speed, allowing you to chase enemies, reposition, or escape dangerous situations. Splendor temporarily makes you untargetable, helping you avoid lethal damage or powerful enemy abilities. Blood Rage sacrifices part of your health in exchange for increased damage, making it a high-risk, high-reward option for aggressive players. Spike Mail reflects incoming damage back to nearby enemies, making it especially effective against heroes that rely on dealing continuous damage. Frigid Charge allows you to quickly engage or catch fleeing enemies, making it a valuable initiation tool for tanks and frontliners. Unlike passive items, active skills aren't just about choosing the right item, they're about using it at exactly the right moment. And that's everything you need to understand Honor of Kings itemization. Don't try to memorize every build. Instead, understand what each item is designed to do. Because the strongest players don't win by copying builds. They win by building the right item for the right situation.